Okay, so you know the how to navigate it, right? Just click on profile, and I have opened already this custom profile here. And the part that was not working in last session was I given access to all the or some of the fields, but it was not appearing, right? So now I'll just open it. Actually, I did not change anything, and it start reflecting after some time, right? So this phone, website, this type, rating, it's now appearing, but it has only read access. Now I'll give it or let's do one thing. Let's create a permission set. Okay, so if you remember, we have the same structure, right, for the profiles and the permission sets. But it just one difference is that it gives you ability to give wider access without changing anything on the profile. So it has the same template but has some minor differences which are enabled only for the profile but not for the permission sets. Okay, so now what I have done is I have given access for few fields as a read access. Okay, and I want to give edit access uh, via permission set. Okay, so for that what I can do is I can go here and search for the permission set and give read write access from there. Okay, so just search for the permission sets. You would find two options: permission set groups and permission sets. So permission set groups is nothing but a combination of permission sets. That's it. We'll see that also, but before that, let's create a new one. New permission set. Click on new and extend this. Okay, that's it. Select license as Salesforce. Okay, so you can see, right? It's almost same. All the components that are available on profile here are here as well. Right, the assigned apps, object settings, right? So what I want to extend the access to object. So I'll navigate to account again, right, and click on edit. Navigate to the field, which field I want to edit. For example, phone and website I want to edit here. So search for the phone, right, phone and website, and let's give access to rating also. What else is there is type. So I'm not extending access for type. Just that's it. Give an access, save it. Now with this only it will not work. I need to assign this permission set to the specific user, right? So you can do from this window also. You need to click on manage assignments and click on add assignment and search for that specific user, right? As there are limited, I can directly give access from here. I want to give access to this user. Click on next. That's it. Click on assign. Now it has assigned. Click on done. Okay, you would see this also at the user level, right here. Click here, right? I had created one more custom permission set which is also visible, and this is the new one that I created. Let me just okay, let it be, and let's go back. I hope it reflects immediately. No, it's taking time again. Yeah, now it is reflecting, right? So I got the access to phone, website, and rating. I can click and edit, right? Save. That's it. But type is still uneditable because we haven't extended the access, right? So the purpose of is this is like, if two users have the same profile but you want to widen the access to only specific to one user, right? So let's take an example on Excel, maybe that will make it more clearer. Okay, so like for example, user 1 and user 2, right? So both have the same cust profile, right? And both have only read access, read to account, for example account and its fields. Okay, so now what I can do is I can just add one more permission set here. This is our profile, this is access, and there is permission set. Now I'll create custom perm set 1. Okay, and I'll just enable or assign it to the user, right? That's it. So, and it will have edit access, right? So we extended the access to user 1, not to user 2. And if requirement is closed, we can just remove this and access is revoked, right? It's as simple as that. You can do the same thing at profile level and permission set level, and there are some differences, we'll see that, but this is the main reason there is a permission set. Also, for example, we are just now extending access to only account object. If I want to create multiple permission sets which gives access to multiple objects, for example I'll create 10 permission sets for 10 different things, right? And I'll just combine them together in one permission set group, and I can assign just one permission set group to the user 1, right? It will get a multiple access. And for example, out of this 10 types of accesses, only 5 are required to user 2. Then what I can do, I can create one more permission set group and assign it to user 2 or user 3 or some whatever number of users are there, right? So that's the use of permission set groups. That's it. So let's see quickly by creating a new one, permission set group. It's the same thing, it's very simple, but let's have a look. Right, and new permission set group. Save, right, and click on manage assignments, add assignment. Okay, no, I don't want to do this. I want to permission sets in group. Click here. Okay, add permission set, right? And which one I created is extend access here, right? Select, add, and done. That's it. Now go back to user, and there is one more related list you would find, permission set group assignments. If you click here, you will be navigated down as a related list is appearing here. So these are the permission sets and groups. Edit assignment, right, and extend access group 1, assign it, save, right? So it is assigned here. Okay, that's it. That is the way you can assign. Now let's check the differences and few more things from the profile. Okay, let's go back to the profile overview on custom profile. Yeah, here there are few other things you can do via apex class access, for example. So click on it, and when we cover apex class topic, then we will see how to restrict access to specific classes, and based on the permission sets, how classes can work. Okay. So certain functionality to work, you need to give access at the profile level or permission set level to specific classes. So for that, this is the functionality available. You can click on edit, and if there are classes, you can just drag and drop or like just select, and you will get access to the specific classes. Okay, this is the way you can get access to classes. Then the same way there are visual force pages, right? These are nothing but the HTML pages. Okay, and it has some similar kind of syntax as HTML, but in that you can include JavaScript or uh, many other things like HTML is always there, yeah. But there it has also some functions available with which you can pull the information and work like HTML page only. Okay, then these external data source access, name, credentials are very would be too much for now. Okay, but just for your information, name, credential and external name, credential, principal access are required when you are calling any outside API. Okay, then the flow is nothing but another feature which gives you ability to automate some things in Salesforce. Like if I want to change something on the account, like for example, if I'm choosing rating here and selecting warm, then I want to display this type field or do some calculation as we did in the formula field, right? So or do something else like call any other class or invoke some other feature, right, via code. So that can be done via flows. Okay, we have separate session for this also. So but for that to work via this profile, you need to give access to this flow whatever you create. Then there is one more feature of custom permission. It is mainly used at the custom customizations. Then the custom metadata types that we created when we created an object, right? It is a similar kind of object, but with some limited functions. Then for that also it's the same thing. Then the custom setting is also similar like the custom metadata, but have some limited features. Okay. Then comes the system permissions. So all these features are available in the permission sets. Okay. Right. You would see similar, right? Similar components are there. Just these two are more. So whenever we see email to case feature, that time this will be used. Okay. And in the system section, you will find only two options: system permissions and service providers. But on the profile, you would see more, right? So that is the main difference actually between these two. It has some other profile has everything, access to everything, but permissions set has limited access. Now what is the system permissions? That if you have completed yesterday's assignment about enabling lightning, right, for this newly created user profile, so in that you would have navigated to this page, and here you would find system level permissions you can enable from here. So if I want to randomly something here, then uh, okay, this, yeah, this one, right? So or this one, create and customize list view. So in the first session we have seen this, right? You can create a new customers, you can customize a list view, create new list view, add filters on it, add conditions, add columns in it. If you don't have this permission, you will not be able to. Okay, because at this custom profile there is no access. Similarly, you would find many other access types here on the same page. There is one lightning console user, lightning experience user, right? Lightning login user. Then what else would be relevant for you for now is this modify all data. So it will not respect any sharing rules or sharing settings or profile level access. It will just give, if you enable this, you will get every access of this org to everything. Okay. So we should be very careful while giving access at a profile level, because when we enable something here, you will be navigated to one more page which ask you like or tell you what kind of access you would get. Okay, so for example, let me see if it enables or shows that. Modify all data, right? Is it a help text? So you can see with this permission what all you get, right? It gives access to everything: read, create, update with other topics. Let's save it. Let's see, right? So now you can see we just enabled one thing, and it enables access to all these components, and it gives access to object permissions, even if at object specific object level we are not specifying any access. Then the importing leads, there is a standard lead object where you can track the information of specific potential customers. Okay, so you can convert or import those leads and transfer to another agents. Then all kind of access you will get, so you should be very careful. That is the point here. And let's get back to the second feature, that is login hours. Okay, you can navigate to login hours from here. So the feature, what is the feature of login hours is you can specify uh, at what time user can log in. You can restrict users access to the org using login hours basically. So for that you just need to specify a time of a specific day. If it is not given, then at any point of time in a day or in a week or month you can access the org. But if you specify something here, it is applicable to that profile and ultimately to that user. Okay, so this is the one way to restrict users access, right? Then there is a login IP range, right? So this is mainly used for integration users or when you work on client environments, right? So whenever you log into the specific login via VPN, right? So the IP will change, right? So this is the way you can restrict users to log in via VPN and then only access to the client's environment, right? So it should not happen that you are logging via your local machines, right? That's why you can specify IP range here, and once one IP is specified, only that IP will be able to access. So for example, if I enter something here, then only with that IP address I'll be able to log in and nothing else will work. So you should take a note of this also, and you can create specific profile for that specific purpose. Then the next one is service providers. I think it will not be understandable for now, so let's skip this one. In session settings, here you can see first option is session timeout after. Okay, so if I keep idle this session, or if I don't even do something on this environment for 2 hours, then it will automatically log out. Then the next is session security level required at login. So for that there is option of high assurance. Okay, so this enables actually the feature of multi-factor authentication. Okay, so it will ask you to enter OTP from your mobile. So that there is another setup required. It's just another security feature. Then the next one is password policies. So here you can configure password policies for that specific profile, and you can set user password expires in 90 days, or let's see the options. Yeah, or you can specify this. So you can specify 1 year or never expire, so it will never expire. Then it will remember three passwords, last three passwords, right? If you want to enhance the security, you can enter as per the need. Then you can specify the length. Then you can specify the complexity of the password, right? Then cannot contain, so you can post a question and you can mention this cannot contain the password, so you can store as a hint in the password, sorry, password as a hint. Maximum invalid login attempts we can set as 10 or no limit. Okay, a lockout period after 15 minutes. Okay, Then the synopsis: secret answer for password reset, then require a minimum 1 day password lifetime, and don't immediately expire link to in forgot password email. So it enables uh, a feature that you can use the same link for resetting password. Okay, so these are all features available at a profile level but not at a permission set level. Okay, so they, and just for you to know, like in future, in next releases, so there is one feature going to come, is these all these features are going to retire from the profile level, and it will be applicable only via permission sets. Okay, just just for your information, for now you can just ignore this and use the same. Okay, any questions so far? I think once you try all this, okay, play with it, okay, and then see what happens, and then maybe you would have more questions. Okay, so that's it about profiles and permission sets. I think that is enough for now, and let's continue with this next feature that widens more access is with OWD. Okay, so in previous session we seen OWD is nothing but org wide defaults. Okay, and it gives access via at three levels: as private, public read only, and public read write. So private is nothing but a like once it is set private for any specific object, then only owner can see that record and no one else. Right? As you can see on this org, I can see only two records, even if there are multiple accounts available in this org. But as this user owns these two records, so only he can see that record. But as a system admin, I have access to all the accounts, right? Because I have that permission, modify all data. That's why I'm able to see it. Now, if I go here, I can see all the accounts. Okay. Now, next is public read only. Once it is enabled, and everyone can see your record. Okay. Then next is a public read write. That means just an additional permission will be given as of editing and writing that record. Right. On this account, if I go to the all accounts, I can see everything, right? This Barclays and Barclays new, right? Owner is different for this, but still I'm able to see that. Okay, so for example this auto proc is there, but still I'm able to see. Okay, now let's go back and check how where you can find that OWD. For that you need to go to sharing setting. Right here, either you can search for specific object, accounts, right, and you see organization wide defaults, and the short form for this is OWD. So for that, default internal access is private, right? This next one is default external access. So when we say default internal access, that means a Salesforce user, right? The system admin user or this limited access user, right? That once you are able to log in via login.salesforce.com, that means it is an internal access user. Okay. And what is default external access is with Salesforce, you can create a community. Okay, it will be like a public website, and if user is logging in via that community, then it will be considered as an external user or external access user. Okay, so for that kind of user you can specify permissions here to the specific object. And third one is grant access using hierarchies. That is nothing but give access via roles. Okay, so roles you can specify via role hierarchy. For that to see, you need to again search for the role here, right? You will find it under role users. Click on it and you you can see this button, setup roles. Click on it. Right now here you can specify hierarchy. So CEO would be one user, right? There can be only one CEO in the one company, so you can mention that here. And then there would be CFO, COO, like this. Like there would be under CEO some VPs, vice VPs, then DH, DM. Then there would be managers or senior managers. Then there would be leads, and there would be developers, right? Similarly, under a marketing team or a support team, right? If there are the similar kind of hierarchy can be set, and at the end there would be agents who would be answering to your queries, right? So that queries will be tracked under cases object, which is standard object, right? And at that level, this profiles and permission sets will be required very frequently, right? And certain specific queries will be assigned to certain specific agents, support agents, and then those specific agents can transfer either their cases to other agents, or the managers will be able to see how the agents are performing based on the roles, right? So here this SVP wants to see, right, customer supports, how they are responding to the customer queries, right? So he gets the access via roles, right? You just need to specify this option here, grant access using hierarchy. So whoever at the top of the hierarchy will get the higher access, right? Is it clear, or is it too fast? Let me know. Service or support agent, right? There would be multiple support agents. Support agent 1, support agent 2 and 3, right? So consider we are setting OWD as private. Okay, so what will happen? The cases assigned to this, like object, our object is case. Okay, so uh, keep in mind that whenever I say cases, that means I'm referring to case object, right? Whatever is stored in the case object. So let me show you how the case object will look like. Okay, so this is one of the case, and okay, do not have the details pages here. Now the case is created for this specific account, right? And the case origin is via web. Okay, and the type is electrical, case reason is installation. So the specific person has issue related to installation and the query generated via web, and this is getting tracked in case object. Okay, now to resolve this query, right, you can relate this to any your real time real life scenario, like whenever you are raising any issue related to your sim card. Okay, if you are using Airtel sim card, you will raise a query. This will be tracked in the case object, and there would be entry for against your name in your contact, right? And the account name would be Airtel. And if you are raising query via your phone, it will be tracked via phone. Okay, case origin is phone here. Now can specify the reason, like I'm getting extra bill or something, right? And it will be tracked here. Now there would be one person support agent assigned to you. Okay, so you can relate that same scenario here. The support agent 1 is assigning to your queries, that is tracked in cases. Now some queries are assigned to support agent 2. Now if it is set to private, support agent 1 will not be able to see these two persons queries. Okay, he will see only his queries assigned to him. But the manager above them wants to see the performance, or like what is happening all with all those cases who are handled, which are handled by all three persons. So here is a manager, or I will say support manager, right? So we have set a hierarchy for that, right? And we have assigned roles for this and roles for this. So whenever I say a role is assigned to these agents, that means they have the user, right? That's why they are able to log into Salesforce. So we can navigate to the specific user and check what is their role. Okay, so here, for example, I'm navigating to this user, right? Here you will find this field role. Click on edit and you can select multiple options, right? Either can be set CO, or director, or a member of a marketing team, VP, SVP, right? And similarly you can create your own roles, and once that is set here, If you set the hierarchy here, accordingly access will be given. Okay. Okay, fine. And so that's it about rules and the feature that gives access via grant access using hierarchies, and once it is enabled, it will respect the rules and accordingly give the access. Okay, now let's check if I change it to public read only. Okay, save it. Okay, now what will happen, it will process all the information in the backend, because if you remember in first session we have seen there is one table that is generated, okay, whenever we create an object. So for that to check, you can go to developer console and see that table. Okay, okay, first close all, click on open, click on objects, search for account. Okay, and there is one table that is created, right, account share. So click on it and you find account ID, user or group ID, account access level. Okay, these are all childs, but we don't need it for now, so let it be. Then row cause, right, right, and click on execute. That's so for this first column is ID. So ID of this share record. Then the row cause is owner. As I am a system admin, I have access to all. Okay, so that's why I'm the owner. Access is all. This user or group ID, that means the user's ID, specific user's ID. So you can find it here. This is my user ID. Okay, and the account ID, to which account I have access. And now let's check the limited users entry here, right? Or what I can type is account dot name and search again. Right, so I created two new with the limited user, right? So you can see the difference. There is a difference in ID, right? And what is the access to this user system admin, that is me, is I have complete access, right? Now what I'll do, I'll just check this one, right, have complete access. So whenever we change here, it calculates all this table again, because depends on what we choose here, this setting will change in the backend. Okay, if I set it private, if I change it public read only, it does the calculation and updates this table. So that's why it takes some time, and it should be we should be very careful while doing this at client environment. If there is a huge data, like in thousands or in lakhs there are records, so it should be considered while deployments or making any changes on the production. Okay, so you can see a notification, one or more sharing operations has been initiated. See below additional details, certain operations may not be available. Okay, and it will take some time. It will do some calculations. You can check here in the background jobs to which is useful to monitor the progress. Okay, right. So you can see the entry, submitted time and date, and parent account access status is completed. You will get a notification over email, right, if there are any errors, and who submitted and completion date, right? So similarly I changed for account, this is parent account access, then other are also there. So this is one more feature if you are executing some jobs in the back end, so those are tracked here. Okay, you'll also see bulk data load jobs. In data handling we saw this, right? In bulk data load jobs, like if you're loading something via data import or via data loader, it is tracked here. Okay, so I've changed it to public read only, right? Now I should be able to see this all the accounts in limited user. I'm navigating here, refreshing up, reflects immediately. Let's see. Right here, you can see the owner. Right. Even the system admins accounts also I am able to see, but it should be uneditable. That is only read. Access is given. Okay, if I save it, that I'm getting error. Don't have necessary privileges. Why I'm seeing this is because at profile level I have given access to these fields, right? But at the OWD level, the access is public read only, right? So that's why I'm not able to save that record even if I see the edit option, right? And at the top I don't see the edit button also. Okay, so give a try by yourself and then see if you're comfortable with it. You should be comfortable because this is very frequently used feature, right? That's a very critical thing you should know. Okay, mm, let's get back to the image, and there are two more options available. Let's see that also. The third one is public read write, not this one. Public read only, public read write, save, and let's see if I can edit and save that um, here in limited user. uh, Before that, let's check what is happening in the job, is it, whether it's complete or not, or it throws an error. Right, it's completed. Okay, let's go back to this page, refresh, edit, and America 1, save. Right, it is saved, so I got the access. So now you can understand, in profile level what we done is we have given access to as a read to certain fields. Then via permission set we have given access as edit, which were enabled as a read in profile, right? You can do both read and edit both at permission set. Okay, then what we done is at OWD level, earlier the access was private, so only the owner was able to see that record. Now then we changed to public read only. Then the limited user access user was able to see all the records, right, of other users, other owners. Then we widened access more via giving public read write. Then this limited access user is able to save also. Okay, I hope it's clear now. Yeah, any questions so far? So as per this image we have started to widen the access, and in next sessions we will see how it gets access via role hierarchy, like how managers are able to see that record even if it is a private, right? Then we will see sharing rule. Then we will see manual share, like specific record how it can be shared with other persons. Then how the ownership can be transferred, how the teams will be created in next session. Okay. Mm, yeah, and there is last one is, okay, let's see, it's a controlled by parent. Okay, which is not available for all but for specific objects, which is controlled by parent. So controlled by parent, that means whatever the access available for parent account, at the end for child also it implies the same kind of permissions. Okay, so for example, there is a record 1, okay, which is a master record, and child 1. Okay, then record 2, then there is a child 2. So if for this object, like for example object name is um, cars. Okay, so cars is your master, and features is child. Okay, cars, this is our master, this is our child, and it has record 1, record 2, child 1, child 2. Okay, so if a user has access to cars, then the same kind of access levels will be applicable to child, and whoever gets the access to cars gets the access to features. Okay, so that is defined by control by parent. So whenever we set control by parents, if I get access to orders, then it is applicable to all childs. Okay, so this is a control by parent, and this is where the use of master detail relationship comes in picture. Okay, but it is not the case with lookup relationships. Okay, so that's it. And yeah, sorry, one more feature is this transfer. So you can transfer the leads to other agents, right? And it is the same thing, I think, with cases. Yeah, you can transfer, like if for example one support agent is not available because of any reason, so what will happen with that cases, right? It should be transferred to other agents to handle it, right? So that's why there is option of transfer. And on a specific case record, you would see one transfer button, like nearby the new edit or delete. You would find a transfer, and then you will be able to see to whom you want to assign it. Okay, yeah. So if it is available here, oh no, not right now, but yeah, you can transfer those cases. Okay, any questions? No. Okay, so I think that is enough for today. I would suggest go through all these steps, check recorded session. Okay, and let me know if you have any questions. Yeah. Okay, I think that is enough. If no one has any questions, we can stop. Yeah, have a good day. Bye.
Okay, yeah, thank you, thank you.
Bye.